that little town, they were lost and never found. Fallen leaves, fallen leaves, fallen leaves on the ground.
Okay, now the story for Source Code starts off with Jake Gyllenhaal's character named Captain Coulter Stevens, who wakes up in the body of an unknown man. He doesn't know where he is, and he's on a train. He looks across from him, and there's this girl just talking about stuff he doesn't know because he doesn't know who he is. I mean, she is, and he just doesn't know where he is. The train blows up, and he finds out that he's actually a part of this whole program where you can go back 8 minutes before something happens, like an explosion for a train, and find out what happened there. And that's really what he's doing here. He's taken by this organization to go back in time to see how this train blew up, who did it, who's like nervous, who's like, bent out of shape and all this, and he has to go find out who this bomber is. And during this, he falls for this girl. He knows all these, sees all these characters, and that's really the story. I don't want to spoil much into the story, even though I explained it pretty good, right? Anyway. There you go, there's the story of Source Code. I think it's an amazing story. I really do think so. Source Code has a great story. Sure, the plot is like the sci-fi element to it. We've seen time travel before, even ones that has short time lengths, like 8 minutes. But Source Code does a great job with its characters and everything else that I think it's original. I really do think so. And I thought the story was just amazing. So let's go on to the acting of the film. The acting in the film is, I'm going to say it right here. The acting is outstanding in this film, and I really do think that Jake Gyllenhaal can actually get nominated for this role. You feel for his character. He has so much charisma. He's so charming, and he's just amazing in this role. He does a great job with the dialogue. He's pretty badass too. You really like his character, and just I thought he was amazing in this film. Now, Michelle Monaghan, pretty much the opposite, the love interest, is really good in this film too. Most of the time she has to repeat her dialogue because she's one of those characters that is in the source code and she has to repeat her dialogue because it's the same moments in the part that happened in the 8 minutes before the train blew up. And that's cool. I really do think she did a great job even when she has to repeat her dialogue. She did a great job, and she really did. Vera Farmiga also did great. She's really just like kind of like a talking head for the most of the movie. Sometimes you see her, whatever, but she's mostly a talking head, but she's still amazing. She does great with the dialogue, and I don't want to mention the charisma, the chemistry, because I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but really, the chemistry was great between these characters, but I'll talk more about that later on. Anyway, and also you have Jeffrey Wright in the film, who plays kind of like the douchebag boss, and he's not on it for very long, but he has that sinister kind of way he talks, and he's pretty cool in this film. I really like him. Anyway, there you go. The acting is fantastic. Let's go on to the chemistry, like I said before. Okay, now the chemistry of the film is another thing that's really just amazing in this film. I'm using that word a lot in this review, and don't worry, I'm going to use it some more, but really I think here we go, here's a new word, phenomenal. I really do think so. Jake Gyllenhaal has two characters that he really comes across with and really just bonds with. One being a friend, and one being more of a love interest. The love interest, of course, is Michelle Monaghan, and I really do think so. When I say this, I think Jake Gyllenhaal and Michelle Monaghan were fantastic and amazing in this film together. They really did spark. I really do think so that this probably actually did a little bit better than The Adjustment Bureau, which I thought the chemistry in that film was amazing at first. But I think they did a little bit better in this film. I really felt the connection for these characters. And for a movie that has an 8-minute thing going on where you have to go travel back in time 8 minutes, and after that 8 minutes you have to go back to the same 8 minutes, that's really impressive. I really did think they did a fantastic job with making these characters really just spark together, and they're fantastic. Jake Gyllenhaal's character and Vera Farmiga's character now, they also did amazing, but they were more professional, more like, sometimes they would drop into friendship and stuff, and that was really cool, but it was more professional. I do think some of those scenes were amazing scenes, really, where they just talk about stuff, and I really do think the chemistry for them are just amazing too, but really Michelle Monaghan and Jake Gyllenhaal's character, when they really come on together, they spark. I really do think so. And just overall, I thought the chemistry in this film was amazing. Let's go on to the entertainment of the film. Okay, now the entertainment of the film, I thought this movie was probably one of the best times I've ever had in the theater. I really do think so. This movie was so much fun, so great. Just the story was amazing. The characters were really, really just memorable. The acting was fantastic. The chemistry between all the characters. The sci-fi elements were, used before, but really just felt fresh and new here. And I just thought the freaking movie was so much fun. And you know what? I love the hell out of this movie. If you can't tell, I love the shit out of this movie. I really do. Story, fantastic. Acting, fantastic. Everything I love about this movie. The only complaint I have for this movie is that it's kind of short. I think it could have been a little longer, but that's also a positive too. In 90 minutes, because the movie's about 90 minutes, Duncan Jones, the director, who also directed Moon, which was also another fantastic movie, put all this stuff in 90 minutes. Chemistry, sci-fi, a great story, great acting, all these characters. He put all that in only 90 minutes. I'm just going to say it straight up right here. This movie is a perfect movie. I love the hell out of Source Code. There you go. Put that on the freaking poster. Put that on the box of the Blu-ray, because I really do love this film. You noticed I didn't give scores for the story, the acting, the chemistry, all separate, because I'm just going to give it a straight up 10 out of 10. There you go. There you go. Or a 40 out of 40, whatever score you want to go through. It's a perfect movie. I really do think so. I think you should go see this. Screw Hop. Don't see that movie. See this. I don't care how old you are. You're 2-year-old? You're a 2-year-old? Fuck you. You're watching Source Code and you're gonna like it, or I'll put a gun to your head. Anyway, thank you. This isn't an April Fool's joke, by the way. I do give this a 10 out of 10. I'm thinking about that. Many people have been doing April Fool's jokes today. Fuck that. This is a 10 out of 10. Go see this movie. Amazing film. Go check it out now. Thank you and goodbye.